Hey, what's up there, Mega Like Geeks and Freaks? So, this is the Remco McDonaldland 1976 engine, wind-up engine, that comes with the Ronald McDonaldland playset. There's several pieces, or several items here that, with the unit that tell you how it works. Well, the first thing is you have this connector, so you can put the last two of the cars. It comes with an additional green passenger car, and then it comes with a caboose, which is basically a jail for the Hamburglar. This bell just doesn't really do anything. It swings back and forth if you like. It's kind of the old-fashioned cow catcher on it, if you will. As you can see, the idea behind this is that you would wind this up. There's a track that it goes on. I've done other videos where you can see the whole set. And once you wind this up, if you push this button here on top, what it does is it releases the mechanism on the bottom, or pushes on the bottom, and then what it does is allow these to run. And then it should go. This one sticks a little bit. I have other ones that work. I thought I'd give a chance of trying to make this work a little better. Now on the track, there is a piece where you can turn the railroad crossing lights. It'll push this, and that causes it to stop, which pushes this button up. So this button's a little bit messed up, not too bad. And yeah, I could just leave it as is because I'll probably never run it, but hell, why not try and make it work if we can, right? So not too bad to take apart. Let's take a look and see what it's made out of. See how this looks, and we'll try and do this without breaking the whole thing, because this looks like possibly that already had a crack in it. Maybe there's a crack in there too. Yeah, that looks like there's probably a crack. So let's carefully take this apart, and then we'll see how it goes. You know, fixing some of these old toys, they don't really need it because they're really for me, because they're for display purposes for the most part. But it is neat to set it up and put on the track and watch it go. This is the second one that I have. The first one works really well, and that this is really bad, you can kind of give it a little push, but it's a pretty basic toy, and I think a little bit of experience and investigation, we can probably make it work better. Usually this is my go-to for getting stuff lubricated and working better. You have to be careful with WD-40 on plastic. It can kind of mess it up. I'm not exactly sure if it melts it. I don't think it does, but it gets it pretty greasy, and over time it gets a little crappy. Somebody warned me about using it once, and I've used it multiple times without really any issues, but it's probably the best lubricant for just about anything. Got an old door lock that doesn't want to open, WD-40. All right, let's see. That works, all kinds of good stuff. All right, let's see if we can get this last screw to come up here, and then we'll give it a shot. And we'll see what it looks like. There we go. All right, so here's our mechanism inside. Here's our winding gear. And as you can see, it's a little, it looks a lot better. I think basically what we have is something that might be a little out of whack. This red button on top, this red button on top is what pushes this down. By pushing this down, it pushes on this little lever here, which pushes this down, which in turn pushes this down, and then it releases the mechanism. Otherwise, this basically becomes, you can see here, this piece here becomes a brake for the gear inside and keeps it from running. So the idea here is that this button should work a little better. It was probably a little out of whack. Maybe it's missing the spring, or maybe the spring that's probably in there went bad. So we can actually, you can see how well this is running without this piece on. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it a little shot of WD-40 just to the metal parts. That's going to give it enough lubrication to kind of clean up. It also takes out some of the oxidation in there, and we kind of just want to get those gears coated. What I do like about these older toys is that they actually use metal gears instead of plastic. Plastic has a tendency to wear faster and to break, whereas the metal doesn't. Yeah, you can already see how much better it's running. So not a big deal. That's just with a little spray. WD-40 gets to work immediately. It just basically reduces all of the friction, if you will. So let's see if we can get a little bit too much, because I don't want it leaking out anywhere else, which it can do through some of the cracks, and we don't want that to happen. Let's give it a quick wind and let it run a few times. And it just basically gets the gears going. Obviously the red button's going to be down because there's no pressure pushing it up. Let's see if we put this piece back on, if that's going to be an issue. Now, I don't know if there's a spring in here, because I'm not quite sure what forces this to return with this, but oops, it looks to me like this probably was a little bit out of whack or something. So this looks like this should probably engage back into here just like it was. And what should happen is when this pushes up, this should be, oops, this should be able to, pushing that button should cause this to release. So let's put this back together and let's see if that does it. If it doesn't, might have to do a little bit more work on it, and I might have to do that off camera to kind of give it some time to do some investigation. But you know, most of these old toys were built with a very basic mechanical principle. If they were battery operated, it was nothing more than the same type of electrical circuit used for a flashlight, right? On and off. The motors would be engaged or disengaged based on obviously the switch being on or off. And let's see what we got here. So it goes back here, it looks like. And usually on these older toys, it's not that the motors typically go bad. I have one bad motor and one Hasbro G.I. Joe Jeep. Every other motor I've ever had from every old toy, even go back to the 60s, they all work. They just get a little bit oxidized from sitting around and not moving. So you just kind of got to give them a little juice, put the batteries in, give them a little bit of a push. And then once you get them going, you want to keep them going for a while, because what you want to do is kind of get it to clear out all the old stuff. Let's see if that works any better or worse. That looks better. Yeah, that's definitely better. I can always see WD-40s coming out the top, so we're going to clean that up a bit because it leaked out. Get that all wiped up and wash it off. What I don't want to do is wash it with water. The V40 lubrication it's some pretty rough grease. It also cleans. That's the other thing with it, is that it cleans heavily. Anything that's on there will take off. So all right, so that's good. So it looks like we've actually got it clean. We've got it actually lubricated properly now. That's what she said. That one's for Brian Sanchez. If you don't know Brian Sanchez, I'll get to know him soon enough. All right, let's see. I won't give that a good cleaning after. You can see how shiny it is, but let's see if this works any better. Now what should happen is that right there is the stop button. That causes it to stop, right? So let's go give it a roll and see if it runs. I'm gonna push the stop button, give it a wind. Let's get it on the floor and let's see what it does. Yep, perfect. There we go. And there you have it. Now it's working perfectly. So what I'm going to do is go clean up some of this extra WD-40 that leaked out. No big deal. We'll clean that up. Not hard to do. A little bit of a wet rag. We'll take all that shit out of there. And off we should go. And we're just going to let it sit, so that what we wanted to do is actually get all the extra to drip out. It doesn't really dry. It kind of stays wet forever. That's why it's a good lubricator, if you will. And that should do it. And we'll do some more videos. We have this working unit. We just fixed, other video, we just fixed the branches on these trees using a method by Toy Polloi. We're going to use a similar method to fix the swing that I had, where the two pieces up top snapped off the rings, and we're going to wind up building new ones to fit there so we get the swing on. There you have it. Thanks for watching.